Hey, this is Anime Able, returning to you with What If Deku Was the 10th Vongola Mafia boss? We last left off with Deku saving Jiro from Bakugo and Reborn returning from a personal mission. Over the next 11 months, Reborn was having Deku do everything in his power to increase the time limit in his active dying will state, from doing hour-long jogs to helping clean up Dagobah Beach to push-ups, sit-ups, and a whole lot of juice. Through his connections, Reborn learned that the practical exam for the UA Hero course was going to be about 10 minutes long, so he needed Deku to be able to stay in his state for at least that long, if not longer. So think of All Might's Pass the Test, the American Dream Plan, and at least triple the amount of work Deku originally had to do. And that's what you get with Reborn's training. And when Deku wasn't training or studying, Reborn would sometimes have him take on weird errands, such as going to the music store to pick up some cables, or going to the shopping center to get him some coffee. Usually, these errands were ploys from Reborn to try to get Deku to run into Jiro again, and whenever they did, they'd chat for a bit, and over time, they started to tell each other their likes and dislikes, such as Jiro being from a family of musicians and having many interests in musical instruments such as guitar, bass, keyboard, drums, all sorts of things, to even being a singer in her free time. But honestly, she doesn't want to become a musician like her parents. She wants to be a hero. She wants to dedicate her work to others, to helping people, and while she can do that as a musician, she believes that being a hero would be a far better prospect. She's even learned a bit about Deku and what kind of training he's been up to, and honestly, it's quite surprising. There's no way she could do that kind of training, and has told Deku many a times, if he can complete that training, he's easily going to pass this entrance exam. She's kind of afraid, though, because she doesn't know if she's going to. Her quirk's nice and all, but she doesn't know if it's going to be enough to help. And, while Deku can't really help her increase her quirk, as they have totally different kinds, he at least can help her increase her physical activity by jogging with her and giving her some pointers on exercises. And it really does help, and they do get closer this way. Oh, and before anything else, the sludge villain attack does not happen. All Might was able to stop it in the sewers. So Deku's not going to meet All Might before the UA entrance exam. And at the moment, I'm not going to give him one for all, because with his power, he'd easily be able to surpass it in time. So I don't want to make him too overpowered. Got it? On the day of the entrance exam, okay, nope, Deku. You have no idea how hard it is to keep that straight. I'm gonna keep this in because I am so tired of stopping to delete that section. On the day of the entrance exam, Deku is getting prepared, and Reborn tells him once the exam is over to come back because he's got something to tell Deku. So rather than being afraid that he's going to fail the entrance exam, at the moment he's concerned, oh, what's Reborn going to tell me? What does he have to tell me? It seems serious, and that's when he falls. But instead of hitting the ground, he's floating, and from behind he yells, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used my quirk on you, but I feel like it's a bad omen to trip and fall. Well, good luck to both of us. Hope you pass. A brown-haired girl tells Deku as they walk into the building. And rather than sitting next to Bakugo, Deku finds Jiro and sits next to her, and starts up a small conversation saying, oh, hey, it's nice to see you here. Are you nervous? I sure am. Yeah, but I have a feeling I'm gonna do pretty good on the actual written part of the exam. I just hope I don't run into one of those 0-pointers that President Mike's talking about right now. I don't think I'd be able to take one of those down, you know? She replies kind of nervously. Well, don't worry about it. I doubt there's gonna be many of them. Good luck. Deku unfortunately doesn't find Jiro in his section of the practical exam, but he does see that brown-haired girl that helped him earlier. He was thinking about going to thank her, but then he thought, oh no, she looks pretty nervous. I should just let her calm her nerves and prepare for the exam. He took a few steps back and started to breathe slower. He continued this until his body warmed up and the flame upon his brow activated. And as that occurred, President Mike spoke up, go, go, go! There's no countdown to a real battle, and everyone took off. Deku was doing pretty well. He started taking out 1-point robots fairly easily, rather punching through their metal or finding the button to stop them. Eventually, he went up to 3 points, and as the time limit counted down, they heard a loud horn bellow, and that was the signal for the 0-pointer, and everyone else started to run. Deku was thinking, maybe I could take him down, but he seems too big. Maybe I should just run like everyone else, until he hears a cry for help. He looks and finds that it's the girl from earlier that had assisted him, and she looked to be trapped under some rubble. Without hesitation, Deku sprinted into action. He first helped her up out of the rubble, and she's like, thanks, but my ankle's twisted. I'm not going to be able to get very far. So Deku had to come up with a plan. He had to stop this robot, but there wasn't any way for him to actually damage the thing. But as he was thinking, he remembered every other robot had a way to stop it other than actually destroying them. So this one must have one as well. But more than likely it was going to be further up, and he couldn't get to it just by himself. So he asked the girl, what is your quirk exactly? And she's like, oh, my quirk is 0 gravity. I can make things float or slowly descend. He's like, okay, we can make this work. I have a plan. Let's get to a safe distance, and I want you to make me float, alright? She's like, oh, okay, it's not going to be very long, though. If I float things for too long or they're too heavy, I'm going to get very nauseous. He's like, don't worry, this is going to be quick and simple. I need to float so I can get up to the robot and find its off switch. And they go into action. They start this plan. Deku jumps off of a piece of broken building, and Yoraka ends up touching him by the foot, and he starts floating towards the robot from behind. Unfortunately, however, it seems he's too much for her to handle for long, and she starts to waver and looks nauseous, and actually ends up stopping the float. And he's mid-air as this happens, and he's like, I'm going to fall, I'm not going to make it. And then, all of a sudden, something pops into his head. He sees a man using the flames on his brow upon his hands and helping him hover or fly. So, Deku, thinking, this is my only shot, I have to try it, places his hands into the flames on his brow. It's hot, but it's not burning him. And as he brings them out, his hands are coated in the flames, and he's like, I have to try. There's no other way. He brings his hands down and focuses on the flames, eventually being able to hover, and is able to get onto the back end of the robot. And right before President Mike says, "Time's up," Deku's able to press the stop button, stopping the robot from causing any more destruction. Collapsing from fatigue, Deku had strained himself to a point where his body needed rest, and the heroes had to come and bring him off the robot because he had fallen unconscious. After Recovery Girl had woken Deku up and said, "It was just fatigue, you can go," Deku left UA and found Reborn waiting for him by the gate. Took you long enough. Did you get hurt? And Deku says like, no, I just pushed myself too far and fell unconscious. Oh, okay. Well, let's go back. When they got back home, Inko immediately ran up to her son and hugged him. "Oh, thank God, I got a call from the school saying you had fallen unconscious. I thought you were really hurt." "Don't worry, Mom, I just pushed myself a little too far there. I'm totally fine, alright?" She's like, Alright. I'm gonna start making dinner now, so just go and rest, alright? You need it." Deku gets to his room and Reborn's like, "Well, this is it. Looks like you're going to get into UA." He's like, and Deku's just like, "I sure hope so. I took down quite a bit of robots." And Reborn's just like, "Don't worry, you've got it. But I've got something to tell you now. I don't know how you're gonna take this. You want to be a hero, and that is an admirable feat. But you're going to be more than just a hero. You are going to be the 10th boss of the Vongola family Mafia." And that just makes Deku's stomach drop. He hears the word Mafia. The criminals. I can't. What? Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. Leave a comment, leave suggestions. I hope to see you guys again soon.